Hey guys, it's me, Quite Crafty, and today I'm going to be showing you guys some more DIY aesthetic things. These are just room decor ideas that you might want to incorporate into your room if you want some aesthetic theme, I guess. Not really sure. So if you guys are new, I'm Quite Crafty. I make a lot of DIY videos as well as some art videos for you guys. And if you are interested, consider subscribing to join the Quiet family, and don't forget to click push notifications so you do get notified whenever I post every Friday. So without further ado, let's get started. The first DIY is the candle holder. What you will need is some clay, water, acrylic paint. I'm using two colors of green, a paintbrush. I'm going to be using a 2 round, a rolling pin or whatever you want to use as a rolling pin, a candle, and lastly a leaf. Any will work. I'm just using one that I plucked from my vine. So I'm going to take my clay and knead it because I put a bit of water in this container so that it didn't dry. And once I finish kneading it, I'm going to roll it into a little sphere. And then I'm going to flatten it with my hands and a rolling pin so that it resembles a pizza dough. So I'm going to take my candle, see if the clay is large enough to fit to the rim of it. Does not. So I'm going to keep rolling it until it resembles this. And I'm going to just press the clay on the sides of the candle until it's smooth. And I'm going to use a bit of water. Here you can see it's kind of smooth, not really. So once it is, you're going to take a leaf and just imprint it on the candle. Mine didn't really imprint itself, so I think that I should have kept the leaf on the table and rolled it out. So once you finish imprinting the leaf, you're going to let it dry. Mine took about a day, so yeah. So I'm going to grab a palette. I did not include this in the supplies list. Then I'm going to mix the paints together, and now I'm going to paint the imprint. So that is it, and let's move on to the next DIY. The second DIY is some art prints. You will need some cardboard, some plain printer paper, a box cutter, and some scissors, a pencil and eraser, some colored pens, I'm using some non-glittery and glittery gel pens, a fine liner, some paint, obviously, a palette, a cup of water, as well as some paper, a ruler, and a brush. First, I'm going to be measuring out the size of the art print. So I'm going to make mine 3 inches by 4 inches, and I'm just going to use my ruler and pencil to mark those out, and I'm going to finish marking these off camera. So once I finish doing that, I'm going to grab my box cutter and cut the cardboard out. So I'm going to do the same thing with the printer paper, mark it out with my pencil and ruler, cut it out, and one paper only gives me 4. So I had to grab another sheet of paper to make a 5th one. So I forgot to include this in the materials list, but you will need some type of glue. I'm using a glue stick to stick together the cardboard and the printer paper. So the glue has dried, and you can now trim off any excess paper or cardboard that you might have mismeasured, because I can't measure or cut straight. So you guys probably have better skills than me and won't have to do this. So once the trimming is finished, I'm going to grab my painting paper, which is basically paper I just put at the back of so I won't get paint anywhere else. And I'm going to grab my palette as well as my paint, and I'm going to mix some pastel pink, purple, and blue. Now you're going to paint on your printer paper to form the background. Once your paint has dried, you can start drawing with your fine liner and colored pens. You can draw some aesthetic fine art directly from the online picture, or you can change a few things to suit your style more. So the last DIY is a floral tray. So what you will need is a Ferrero Rocher box that's empty, some acrylic paint, a pencil and eraser, a Sharpie, some paintbrushes, a palette, and a paper to wipe your brushes off with. So I'm just going to flip the box around, remove any Christmas wrapping paper that might be still there. Then I'm going to take off the back, and I'm going to just take this paper that's there, and I'm going to just use it to paint some flowers on. So we're going to set the box aside, and we're going to take the paper. So I'm going to be drawing some flowers and leaves on there to fill up the little background. So I will do the rest of the drawing off camera, and it looks something like this. And now I'm going to mix all my paints together. So we're going to put the palette aside, and we're going to grab the paper and start painting some flowers and leaves. So after all this paint has dried, I'm going to go over with some darker paint to add a few more details, but I didn't do any more really detailed things because I was too lazy to, but you can because it's your painting, but I'm just too lazy for that, so yeah. So this is the finished artwork. Now we can put it back in the little container and we can start writing the quote. So I'm going to use my Sharpie and write C'est la vie, which is in French. I'm not going to Google Translate it for you, so you can do that if you don't know what it means. Anyways, Sharpie wasn't very opaque, so I had to go over it 3 times for it to look something like this, and we're done. So that is it for this video. If you guys did like it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, then give me a thumbs down. Please do let me know how you feel. And if you have any feedback, comments, or suggestions, make sure to do so in the comments section down below. And if you are new, as I've said in the beginning of this video, consider subscribing if you like art, DIYs, crafts, things like that. And if you are subscribed, don't forget to click push notifications, post notifications, don't really know which one it is, so you get notified whenever I post every Friday, because sometimes people are not notified, so that just ensures you do. And seriously, so I hope to see you guys in my next video, and don't forget to be kind and be kawaii. Bye!